everybody, it's DesignedByEpapere. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm in a need for a whole bunch of cards and tags to finally finish off my grungy floral deco-y boho journal. I don't even know what to call this style, but it's eclectic. It's an eclectic grungy floral work of beauty. And I've taken and stuffed it with some things that I kind of already had made up and whatnot, but there's still a lot of stuffing that needs to happen, and she's already getting a bit chunky, I know that. But so anyway, I got to thinking, if you were in a need for a bunch kind of in a short order, how would you do that? So I thought, well, what would my strategy be? And I did some work on my iPad here, but what I did was kind of like, how do I get a bunch done all at once? And I figured out, well, what's my process? I want to do bases, then put some sort of background, then a texture element, a feature, and an accent. And then maybe I'll sew them later, maybe. I thought through, well, what are some different compositions just to get my brain juices flowing? And then I thought about, like, well, what kind of different shapes might I cut if I needed to start from scratch? So I did some pre-thinking because I'm a nerd. Then I remembered that I had a bunch of bases already pre-cut. I had some things pre-done from my scrap busting efforts that I did over the summer. So I don't have to worry about those card measurements too much. I've already got a bunch of bases done. But then what I thought the next step I could do in order to make this go really quickly for me is constrain my supplies and decorative elements that I would be using. So instead of accessing my entire studio full of stuff, I picked out a few things. I gathered it all to my workstation, and I'm going to work with that. I picked out only, 4 sets of stamps. So what I picked out was some scrolls, some background texture-y type of elements, and then 2 sets that have flowers on them, because this is definitely kind of a florally journal. I went through all of my little bits and bobs that I have normally at my desk, and I picked out a bunch that I know are going to coordinate with this journal. So pretty much anything that's already in here, I know is going to work in this journal, because it's either fussy cuts from the digital kit, or it's something that it's a floral element, or it goes with some of the colors, or it's just kind of like a label or a little piece of ephemera, or it's got butterflies, or, something like that. So all of these bits and bobs and little accents and things like that, these are all fair game. Everything's gonna go. I know this because I already pre-sorted it. So now all I have to do is just audition for composition purposes. I also pretty much always, when I'm decorating things, oh, that's a decorated paper clip, I like these little notebooks of paper just in case I'm looking for an extra little background or element like that. I may or may not use these a whole lot. We'll see. I got my little round circle punches out. Some of them are inchies. Others, I took a small punch and punched out some scraps of a paper that I've used in this journal, so I know that those will all go. I've also got my teeny tiny Tim ephemera in here. I picked out 4 colors of ink. Forest Moss is the one I'm going to use to, ink around my edges. The only reason I have these other 3 is in case I want to use them for stamping. Okay. I have this sticker book, not because I want all of these stickers, but because in this particular, I've got and I might just take these out of the bag to speed things along. I've got some floral stickers, and I've got some butterfly stickers, and I've got some bird stickers. So those are the stickers that I'm limiting myself to these, okay? So I'm not allowed to go into the rest of my sticker stash. And we'll see if I can keep to my own rules, because I like to break rules. Why not? I will allow myself to use this if I want to put some words or something on a label. This is a, you know, take it apart and form whatever word you want kind of stamp set that I just got. So it's a new toy I'm playing with. And then I've got my little bin of fabric and ribbon and lace. Most of this is scraps that I was using when I was making clusters for these journals. There's some texture paper in there, so that'll be a textural element. There's some lace, that can be a textural element. The fabric that I've used for the cover is in here. I've used some of this yarn already as tag toppers. And then I went to my other laces and trims and pulled out a couple of kind of a whiter lace, a cream colored lace. This is a black trim that it looks bulky, but it's actually pretty thin. So I think this might work well. And I like black with that deco theme. And then this floral looked really cool, this ribbon. So this might come into play. So we'll see. So that's here. And then always at the ready, I have, of course, my glue. I've got basic punches, my corner rounders, and my circle punches. I've got a couple of like label and tab punches and things like that. I've got some off to the side here. I've got my like regular stash of papers, book pages, pre-cut card sizes, stash builder paper. I did pull a couple of pieces of jelly printed paper that pull in some of the colors that are in this journal, so I may decide to pull those in. I've also got drawers over here with some little elements like buttons and things like that, but I'm gonna try not to go there. I'm gonna try and use just what I've got because I want to try and go through this quickly. What I did with my pre-cut bases, I've sorted these into piles of ones that are kind of go together. So they're going to use similar colors. Like these were all printed on junk mail. I printed my own digital on junk mail, so that's hence the writing. So they've already got a pretty good background going on them. And I backed them with some coffee dyed paper. So these bases are all good to go. Just, these were all from Garden Collage. So they've all got kind of a similar, you know, look to them. These were all from Artist Delight. They've all got a similar look to them. These were all from Funky Farm Stand. So those have got a similar look to them. So I figured if I kind of work them in groups, it might go more quickly because I'm pulling from the same things, or I could use the same stamps and just kind of like do a mass making. So, and then this pile is stuff that I took from the scrap busting effort that I did over the summer. So if we get to these and if I get through these and I still need more cards, I'll go through this for the sizes that I need, and that might be a separate effort. So I'm going to set those aside. So, and then I did pull out a book page envelope because I thought this would be a fun, cute little thing to do. So I think I am going to do this, and then just a couple of little plain cards because it's always seems like it's the small ones I'm short on. All of this prep work took me about an hour, okay? And then I'm hoping to be able to really stay focused and, you know, get through at least like all of these within an hour. So if I'm able to do that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 cards decorated within, let's say, an hour. So that gives me about 8 cards an hour, which I think is a pretty good rate. And then, you know, I can do even more than that. So let's see how many I can get done. So I think first group I'm going to work on is these ones. I like this bright color. I'm going to set these other ones aside so that they're not in the way. Lay these out. Now these are all kind of tall and skinny, so I think tag when I see these, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cut these all into tag shapes. And the way that I do that is I just snip a corner, I take that corner, flip it to the other end so that I can match it. I don't have to make sure that all my tags have the same angle on it. I'm not, you know, nerdy like that, I guess. But if you are, I say that's awesome. Cute little tags, 4 of them. Okay, so the next in my process was some sort of background. Some really nice aged vintage book page. And this book page is pretty brittle, but I don't mind. I'm gonna tear just some sections. It's okay if they're square. I'm actually gonna, let's see, put that one towards the top maybe. This is your opportunity. If you used your junk mail, this is the opportunity to cover up the AARP logo. No, I'm not old enough for the AARP, but those people keep sending me mail anyway. And this tearing ruler came as part of a set there on Amazon. Nothing crazy. They're not crazy expensive or anything, but they're kind of fun. I like that. But maybe something. So like that. These are already pretty busy backgrounds, so I'm not gonna do a whole lot of stamping, but I think I'd like to put some lace or something down just to help. See, that one doesn't really need anything, but this one maybe does. Okay. Got my Fabri-Tac here. So yep, just gonna get that down on there. Let's see. I like some of that across. This has got some beautiful flowers on it, so I think I might do some lace kind of on the edge along that background going this way. So let's do that. Okay. So that's background and texture. I'm just going to trim the edges on these so that it fits the tag. All right. Now I might still add a little bit of lace underneath whatever the main element is, so I'm going to keep that as an open possibility. And I think on this beautiful long one, this lady might be really pretty. So that she would be our main element. I'm going to just snip a little bit of lace there. Put that on her back. smoosh it around a little bit so that it, there we go, that's fun. I'm just going to use glitter glue to stick this down. The lace is glued to her and she'll be glued well to the paper, so I think that'll work just fine. We need a main feature for this one. I think some sort of a flower and a leaf. Might be pretty. There we go. That might be kind of pretty, like that. And need something for here. I've actually got a cluster which would take care of all of our remaining, you know, for this particular one, that would finish this one off, I think. Put that cluster up there. I just liked the, oh, I got two clusters. Whoops. I was gonna say I really liked the look of this butterfly. So maybe I'll look in my butterflies here and see if I've got a butterfly that I liked, that I like with it to shoot. We can stick that on there. I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue on the back of that because I'm never too confident in stickers as to whether they're gonna stay stuck or not. So there we go. That's what I was looking for. Was the orange butterfly. All right. Now I need kind of accenting elements for the rest of these, and I think let's do some little accents on this then. Something kind of up there, maybe. There we go. That might be kind of cute. Okay. I should have had this pre-cut. That's my lesson learned in making this journal, is I will in the future take time to pre-cut all of the elements out of whatever kit I'm using before I get started on the project, because I did that only haphazardly this time around, and it's not as efficient, I think. It's better to invest the time and do some prep work, in my opinion. All right, so there's that one. That one's finished, so now I just need to do a little something on this one, which, I mean, it's pretty cute already. I know I've got some labels in here. Sunshine, this one's got kind of a, it's got a bit of a sunburst on it, so I wonder if I could, it looks very structured, but with how the background goes, I think that's okay. A little bit of structure is not too bad. It's not such a bad thing. Okay. So that's 4 tags. 1, 2, 3, 4. But maybe let's use this corner rounder, which is kind of cool. It does just a little something different on these. Like that. Let's ink these ones. I was also thinking I've got some piano scroll here. Tear off a piece of this and use this for some texture and background. That's fun with the dots down the side. Don't want to cover up too much of the floral on the back, but I like that. This one, I really like just that kind of printing on it is cool. So I'm just gonna add a bit of texture with this. Grab a glue stick, might be easier. Repeat that blue in here, I think would be fun. My flowers. This is my biggest like hesitation with things. Like I see other people, they're like, they don't care what's on the background. They'll cover it up with 3-4 layers of stuff. And I'm like, no, I like that layer. And I'm so scared to cover it up. See, this one I think I could cover up a little bit more. Let's see. That one. Then we've got 2 smaller ones left. Glue page would have been useful, Erin. She's the crazy crafter. Crazy crafter that makes a mess out of her workstation and doesn't even care. So we've got background, we've got a little bit of texture. I think we could probably add some more potentially. We'll see. We're kind of in a neutral zone on these, so I might actually just kind of layer that a little bit with some of this paper. I've got some scraps here that I might like. Ooh, that one's cool. That one's neat. There's ink left on my blender, so I'm just gonna use that. Love that. Oh my gosh, this is looking really nice. These might be my favorite so far. And notice I didn't bother to ink the piano roll paper. That's okay. You don't have to ink absolutely every little element. I'm just gonna kind of run that ink blender just over the top of this embossed paper just to kind of bring out that design a teeny bit. And layer that. Notice also how I was not too precious about what shape these papers were in. I was like, oh, that size looks good. That size looks good. I like the finish on that one with this one. And that's just kind of what we went with. So all of these decisions that I might normally spend more time on today, I'm not. Just making the decision to not. And I'm going with whatever. And I'm going to see how it turns out. You'll notice that some of these are kind of thin and so they're curling a little bit. And that's okay. I had printed the digitals on junk mail, so it's kind of on the that paper for the most part was actually pretty decently thick, but then I just backed it with regular coffee dyed paper, so it's just 2 like copy paper weight pieces of paper stuck together, so they're not card weight cards. But what's nice about that especially when I'm already working in such a bulky journal, is that these will add some layering without adding a whole lot of bulk. Even with all the embellishment that I'm putting on. Do I have everything? Yes, I do. Okay. So, you know, that's a nice thing about these. This might be a good opportunity to do some stamping. I love this one. I'm eyeing up this. This is the tallest one. And, oh, do I want to do black or green? I'm not sure, but I think I'm going to do black. Oh, there, that's beautiful. Now we need an accent piece. And I think I'm going to come back to my, these are looking just very much on the vintage side. So I'm going to come back to my Tiny Tim stuff. That's a round piece. Round pieces I'm going to put in my round pieces. Let's see. And I can just the combination sometimes of the inch or the round pieces plus the square pieces, it just adds that nice little bit of interest. You know, like I liked that. I liked pulling in the blue because we put blue, there's blue in the floral, there's blue on the piano paper, so I added a blue circle. Why not? Repetition is great in a composition. Let's cheat that over here to break up that line between the papers and between the papers. And then put this down here, and that's breaking up even more lines. So it's breaking the edge of that circle, it's breaking the edge of this paper down here. So I think that looks cute. Set that one aside. Let's do this one. That's kind of fun. I think that color. Don't overthink it. Right there. You don't have to always put it down in the same spot. You also don't have to cluster these together. So that one did a little bit differently. All right, let's do this one. It's a big enough. Ooh, do I want to put a second? Yeah. So now where do I want to stick this? Do I like it in the center of the circle? Yeah, that does look pretty cool. It looks nicely framed there. Do I want to break that? I think I like it centered in that square. You let me know what you think in the comments. Where would you have put this? Would you have put it somewhere else, or do you like it inside the square? Like that. Did I mess up my tag? I've got a lot of peaches in here and some greens. It's a nice little sunshine. That's actually from this digital, or not from this digital, but from the Summer Sensation digital. Let's see if we can pull out something that pulls in some green for us. Ooh, ooh. Are you as excited as I am about this mossy olivey green? I think I liked that sun just kind of being in the background. I'm going to cover up a little bit of that flower. It's okay. This almost becomes the feature now, doesn't it? I'm gonna, you know, cluster that. Is that circle too plain for you? Maybe. Why don't we put a number on it? Could have stamped it better, but looks okay. 2 more. Okay, we've got blue, we've got peach, we've got green. Ooh. That would be different. A little bit of a label. Got a little bit of lace here. So I'm just letting that Fabri-Tac squeeze through the lace from the circle to kind of put it down there. I didn't even ink it. Yeah. Put this one over here. This is a one of our paper flowers from the shop. And I do a terrible job of using our own shop embellishments. I know this. I should do a better job of this, but I think these are just lovely. So yeah, these are available in our shop. They come in a package of 6, I think, 6 or 8. But I feel like, you know, and I don't use my own digitals very often either, which is also something I probably need to be better at in terms of, you know, promoting myself. But my creative process with those digitals is making the digitals. So once that's done, I'm kind of like, okay, I'm done with those now. But usually after about a year or so, I kind of rediscover them and I'm like, oh yeah, I should totally make a journal out of those. So you might see me do projects with digitals that I made, you know, 2 or more years ago. Because I'm just getting interested in them again because I've had some distance from them. So, okay, we still need this one. Got that beautiful blue again, which has been very hard to match. Although we don't have to match. Oh, there's that's a little punch from the from actually this garden collage digital. You could just do that and play up the blue with that cute little butterfly. Maybe we'll find another butterfly sticker. This one's smaller. Looks a little modern though. Don't you hate that? Got like all these supplies and none of them is actually what you're looking for. Here we go. Maybe. Yeah. There we go. Do you guys run into that too? You like the more you accumulate in your stash, the more you realize that you still don't have the stuff you're looking for. And maybe that's because I buy a lot of my stuff secondhand. So, you know, I buy what I find. And very rarely do I get to pick out, you know, something that I'm particularly looking for. Although I'm getting to that point now. I've amassed a lot of my like base stuff and I've got a lot of selection to go through and a lot of things to inspire me. So now I'm starting to hone my purchases in on very particular specific items that I feel are you know, filling a particular hole or a niche for me. and not doing as much of the mass accumulation at the thrift stores and stuff anymore until I use some more of my stuff up, unless I find just something really awesome, which still happens, of course. Okay, where do we want to put this? I mean, there we go. I'm going to do it. I'm going to cover up that flower in the back. It's still showing, but I just felt like that's where that butterfly needed to live, and I'm okay with that. There, that turned out cute too. Okay, was that the last of those? So that's that group down. This is my final group of ones that I'm going to do in this session. So we've got the envelope. We've got some of these. Again, this paper is from Artist Delight. So you guys will hear me preach about this all the time. Hey, use different digitals together. And this time, I want to pull in some more of the fabrics and stuff that I haven't done as much here. I pulled all these out and then haven't used them, so we're going to use them because these are fun and these are all colors, and I think, you know, that's all going to go really well. Let's pull out some of this. Let's go back to the book page. Let's do some book page. Don't want anything on this? Sure. I mean, that's mostly margin, but that's, you know what, I can put it up on the side. Maybe. Like this. Even though it's margin, there's not really a lot of printing on this. I mean, there is, but a little bit. There we go. It's a different color paper, so it still adds interest. So that's fun. Some background. Some of these are pretty big, so I might see what I can do to add another element to the background. You know, I've got a big oval punch here. And I wonder, it's a rather pretty little background. So I'm adding kind of another background element, but also some texture. I'm loving these embossed little ovals. That just creates a really nice background. This tag is smaller and I'm running out of paper, so I'm grabbing my square punch to see if I can get a square out of this, and if I can't, then we're just gonna tear. There we go. Okay, I'm taking this, and I need to cut some off of it yet. Cut that piece and put it over in my bits and bobs because I think, oh, I need to cut just a little bit more off too. Okay, so I'm going to cut this little border off. Okay, and now I'm going to fold this and put the fun little, you know, swallow's tail on these. So I fold it and then you take from the crease and make a triangle back towards the corner. That's how you make that. So I'm gonna do that on the other side as well. So from the crease and up towards the corner. And now I've got two fun little triangles of ribbon too that I can use, so that's fun. Yeah, I like that. That's pretty cool, and I do like the way that the colors go with the set with this set, but also this just journal in its entirety with the oranges and the greens, and it's got that kind of Asian inspired deco-y look to it. I wish now that I would have used this ribbon more often throughout the whole journal, so I think I'm going to have to find some more ways to incorporate that. And I don't know that I want to layer it over under the oval. I think I might layer it on the side, fasten the ends, and I don't want it to unravel. So. Okay, so I want to cover up this Alliant energy, so I think I might actually center my oval there. And I'm going to take and fray a little bit of this edge over here just for something a little bit different. I cut this apart because what I'd like to do is have kind of an angle to it, and I couldn't get it to lay the way that I wanted by just folding it. So what I'm going to do is take my tiny attacher and just staple that together. There we go, that looks cute. One more. So something I'm just noticing as I'm making my way through this is that I forgot to do anything with the corners of these, so I'm going to do that. And I'm just going to take my corner rounder to do that. I want to use up my ladies. So let's see how these ladies fit on. Now, clearly this gal with the crystal ball and the black dress has to go on this one with the black trim. I mean, is there any other option? Tuck her back in there. I think it might be fun to do some additional floral stamping on that, or maybe a swirl. Haven't done a swirl yet. There we go. Edge of where that square meets the ribbon. So we've got all this interest happening and all of these planes that have been cut now by her. Do we want to put some stamping on them? So yeah, and I think just that one is good. Right. Now we've got the pink fabric on this one, so I think this gal with her beautiful pink dress on is the perfect choice for this one. These ladies that I incorporated into the Summer Sensation Digital, these are fashion illustrations by Georges Barbier, back from the 1920s. So they were a lot of fun. And we've got a lot of space over here, so I'm gonna actually choose one of these big ones. Boy, that sure turned out pretty though, didn't it? For me, this bird is almost kind of the feature, so I think I'm gonna add some stamping. There, that looks like a continuation then of the swirl from the top, which I think is neat. Let's get some on the front though. I'm really feeling over here because it doesn't have anything. And I'm gonna stamp right over that flap, just like that. And boy, it's making me happy. So we've got these three. I feel like if I put her there, that's a great opportunity for like a little, a label or something there. So I think let's do that. Love it. Like, that orange on her dress and on her headband, I think just go really well. And she's facing the right direction, so if you like these illustrations, these fashion illustrations, let me know down in the comments and I will look at more opportunities for how I could incorporate those into more digitals in the future. Likewise, if you've got a theme or something that you think that I would do justice for you, let me know, because I'm always looking for inspiration for my next digital. I feel like so much has been done, and that's fine. Like, I'm always gonna do kind of my own interpretation of it, and my themes are pretty loose. So I'm not scared of redoing a theme that's already been done if you'd like to see my reinterpretation of it. Because one thing I always do is I incorporate my own artwork, my own illustrations, along with vintage graphics. Every once in a while, I will purchase somebody else's artwork. I have purchased florals in the past, but I don't do that very often. More often than not, if it's something that I know that I can do myself, I will do it myself, so that my digitals are something original that you're not finding anywhere else. I don't use AI. I'm not opposed to it. I enjoy doing what I do. It takes me longer to put out a kit, but I enjoy the process of doing them. And again, I feel like my stuff is going to be a little bit more unique and have its own style. Oh, that's cool. It looks like it's kind of smoke swirlies coming from the crystal ball, as though it's magical. So anyway, yeah, if you'd like to see my interpretation on something, give me a shout. Let me know, because I'm always looking for ideas. And really, I work on just whatever strikes my fancy. So if you come up with something and that just like gets my juices flowing, then that's excellent. But I've had people come up with themes and I just haven't resonated with them, or I might at some point, but I just haven't yet. And I'm gonna stamp. The stamp is going right over the lady, and I'm okay with that. I think that looks cool. Don't you? Don't you think that looks cool? I feel like we could still use some labels or something. So yeah, I cheated a little bit on these to bringing these in, but these are ones that I designed. I printed these off, and then I used some glossy accents to just cover the word itself, so they are a little shiny and feel a little special. And I cut them out, leaving a little bit of a paper border that I can then ink. Or you could decide, I could decide to trim that off, and I have done that sometimes, but I think in this case I'm gonna use that paper border to add a little bit of color. All right, so here's where I'm at. I'm just gonna do a little bit of inking around these. All right, so here I am. I filmed for about 2 hours total. So that included all my intro time, all my making time, etc. So you're not going to watch 2 hours of film. I'm going to cut out a bunch of stuff and whatnot. But I filmed about 2 hours worth. And I got, I think, how many did I say this was? About 16 or so tags done in that time, which is still not bad. Now, here's what I could have done to make it go faster. I could have constrained my materials even more. I could have definitely used stamps that I didn't have to, struggle with so much to get off of the plastic and things like that. I had to cut some stuff out and whatnot. So there were some things that I did to myself that made this go a little bit longer. But all in all, 2 hours of time to get 16 tags, not too shabby. So let's do a quick flip through. So got this one. Here's our envelope. This, that one, Move those to the side. We've got this one. So all of those. And then these were the first ones that we did. Oops, I forgot that one. So, you know, I think these were definitely the simplest that I did, and they were definitely the quickest. I went a little bit further with this set, with the layering and some stamping and whatnot. And then the final set, I did just a little bit more involved, and those definitely took me longer, especially with the stamps and everything. But I, you know, if I were to pick a favorite set, I really love these. I think they turned out really cool. I love the swirly stamps that I used. I love the ovals that I cut out of the embossed paper. I love this ribbon with this paper. I love these illustration ladies. I mean, I think they turned out great. So these are gonna go, so again, all of these cards are gonna go in this journal, which I hope should pretty well finish this out. As you can see, I've already got quite a few things kind of stuffed in there, but you know, this is boring, right? We need some more, we need more things. And then it's just putting together a goodie bag or a goodie envelope to go with it. And this one will be for sale in the shop very, very soon. So if you are interested in this journal, please let me know. Here's some other cards that I had picked out to go in there. So yeah, I've got like 20 cards and tags and stuff that are going to go in here yet. Yeah. So anyway, if you have an interest in this journal, you can email me at DesignedByEpapere.com. So subscribers get, you know, first chance at the journal before I put it up on the Etsy shop. So yeah, if you are interested, definitely let me know. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please, 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 please give us a thumbs up. It really helps us out. Leave a comment down below. That also really helps us out. And I just enjoy reading all of your comments. I've enjoyed, since you guys have started commenting more often, I've really enjoyed having more interaction with you and hearing your feedback on things. So definitely leave comments below. And yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.